So we do need to sanitize the rest of our path. We expected 3 submarines. We sank 3 submarines. There might be a surprise 4th. Do not assume the intel briefing is ever correct, because I've been screwed on that so many times. Let me tell you a story. Let's get another air asset up, and I'm going to tell you a story about how I got screwed as a sonarman on patrol off the coast of a country that didn't know that we were there. And we almost got busted because intel was very wrong. Which is why you never hang your hat on it. Intel's great to have, but it's not the gospel. Although, I know some analysts will tell you it is. It is not. All right, we're going to do 10 times compression and a story time with Aaron right now. So, we're going on deployment. And going on deployment is very different than just going underway. So whenever you're going on deployment, you work up for that deployment months in advance. You go down to the Bahamas, to the range in Autech, and you shoot torpedo after torpedo on false targets. Sometimes there are other submarines. You practice evasion down there. You get all your tactical, practice in and qualifications in too. There's a great point in time for qualifications. Then you go back and you go into the simulator at Groton Naval Base after work. So you work a full day. Guess what you're doing till midnight? You're in this simulator with the headphones on, classifying submarines, going over evasion tactics. Then you have training classes that you go to, all during the week, of course, that teach you about the environment. The day before you go underway, you look at the weather patterns for the entire area that you're going to go, even though it's going to be a month before you get there because it's that far away. In 1 month, this is what we expect the weather to be. Never quite right, but traditionally the weather's going to be like this. So you get all these briefings, you get all this practice, you do all this workup, and then you get underway to go do your mission. On the way there, NATO ships try to hunt you, and if they find you, they'll find someone else to do the mission. So you're evading to get to your mission to do your job, because if you can evade the U.S. Navy and the NATO fleets that are out there looking for you, you're a good submarine. You're highly qualified. You're very quiet. That's the big thing. There's other things we do I'm not going to get into. You have to hire me for those stories. But once we get into on station, we get intel reports. We know who's in port because we have satellites with photos. But there he is. So we know who's in port. We know who's not in port. And if they're not at port, obviously they're at sea somewhere.
On station.
Let me give this guy an order. Actually, this guy's hammer, this guy's anvil, putting out the thing, and that's how we're going to keep it for right now. So the intel report was, I don't remember the exact submarine, but the exact submarine was import. Okay, well, I'll call him a Victor 1 because we just had it. Obviously, it was not really a Victor 1. But, so-and-so's in port. We're hanging out off the coast, shallow water, waiting for him to come to sea. I'm on watch. We've been at sea for like 6 or 7 weeks now. We've been on station for like 2 weeks. We're in port and starboard, 12-hour shift rotations. Everyone's tired. It's dead quiet in sonar. It's the mid-watch. And we start getting data. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Did the guy get underway in the middle of the night? No. He wasn't in port at all. He's out here swimming around while we're waiting for him to come through the channel out of the port. And I'm like, if we just look to the north, where the North fucking Pole is, we can see a submarine. And I'm fucking trying not to lose my shit. I'm calmly talking on the sound-powered phones, informing everybody. I'm going out to the office of the deck, informing him. The captain's asleep. The XO's awake, though, because whenever one's down, the other one's up. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking sure. And I show them, we have a repeater in control of the sonar waterfall and other displays that I have to show them. And I'm like, there he is right there. We got him. And it wasn't constant either. It was like a little bit and then gone, a little bit and then gone. And we were like, maybe the intel's wrong. And nobody believed me. But we investigated it and it ended up being him. So in that case, the intel was wrong. Everybody believed the intel. Nobody believed the sonarman initially. But the more detections we had, it became obvious that something else was out there. I never got an explanation on why the intel was wrong. How do you not see something, or how do you see something in a photo that clearly can't be there? How did that get messed up? I don't know. They don't come back and let you know. That's not how that works. They don't even give you a thank you when you're right. All they do is smack you when you're wrong. So Anyway, so that is a real life example of how Intel screwed me as a sonarman. And thank God we were paying attention, because we could have been snapped up and we were not in a position to be detected. Ho ho. No. If we had been detected on that mission, we would have been screwed. And I wasn't the senior sonarman. I was very junior. Oh my God. And that's probably why nobody believed me. But I was like, that's it. Look at this detection. And then slowly I started convincing the sonar division. And then they sent me out to brief the XO. And I'm like one of the junior guys on board. And I'm like, this is it. You know, I didn't know enough to be afraid to tell the XO the truth. Like, had I been a little bit more experienced, I might have been more cautious. But thank goodness my ignorance worked in my favor that day. So, I'm not sure what the lesson is there. Don't do that. But trust your indications. That's the lesson. Because we definitely had an indication. I believed it. It wasn't black and white either. It's very gray. It's like, that looks like a submarine. And I wrestled with that knowledge for a little bit before I said shit to anybody. I was like, what are we doing? This guy's not supposed to be here. I wish it would get off my screen so I didn't have to say anything. Please go away, submarine, because you're not supposed to be here. But I learned a lot from that. Because that happened early in my career, I learned not to just blindly trust the briefings we get, even though they're very detailed and very good and accurate 90% of the time. You know, the Intel guys do a good job. I'm not sitting here shitting on them. But boy, they were wrong on that one. And that was, of all the days to be wrong, did not want to be wrong that day. No. God, if we had been counter-detected, we would have been fucked. We would have been in a lot of trouble.